I decided that I am going to share devotionals that I do in the morning. Not even just for me to be able to just grow more in being more consistent, more what's the word? Like discipline with being in the word, but also because I feel like there may be people who need just encouragement in the morning to start off their day, or even people themselves that is they want to read more of the Bible too. So we could do this together. I have my tea. It is peppermint and spearmint tea together. I like to mix my teas, but let's get into the word. So how I've been doing my own version of devotionals is that I would just literally use the verse of the day in the Bible app. And today's verse of the day was Psalm 121 verse 2. But I decided to do verses 1 and 2. And I like to check out different versions of that same verse. So I did ESV, which is the version that I usually read, and then I did the Message version. I only did the Message version because just the way that they worded it, it stood out to me. So in the ESV version, it says, "I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth." Now in the Message version, it says, "I look up to the mountains. Does my strength come from the mountains? No, my strength comes from God who made heaven and earth and the mountains." And the Message version, it stood out to me because the way that it's worded, right? Because it's it says my strength comes from God who made heaven and earth and the mountains. Because the question is of the person that says I look up, and it's does my help come from this mountain? It's so big, and it's I don't know how I can get past this mountain, get over it, get around it, And it's no, the God who created that mountain is the same God that can get you to move past that mountain, And also the way that the verse is kind of just formed, because it's a question and then immediately an answer. So it's David, or the person who wrote this song in particular, because David didn't actually write every single song. But for this is they're answering their own question. And the answer to the question is something that they know within themselves already. It says, "My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth." And it's saying the answer, and it's why they know. That's the answer. And one thing that came up for me in my head is how I have this very bad habit of this more so relates to mental health stuff, that is say it's a bad habit of mine or something, or a coping mechanism that I've developed, or a way of thinking that I've gained over time because of trauma and everything, And then the answer would be and then I'll be oh, I don't even know why I do that, but then literally a minute later I'll be oh, probably because of this and this. But I'll say it so nonchalantly, with just bypassing of just how important the answer is. Because if you're not able to sit in the answer of what the problem is, and then realizing how big of a problem it is, then it's gonna do you more harm than good later on. Because it's say it's you dealing with some type of physical health problem, and you know what you have to do to overcome that problem, but then you don't do it. And the fact that you know the answer, know what to do, and then to not do it, something that's supposed to help you, and you know that it can help you because it's a good thing for you, that is you're your own problem. And so when it comes to God, having a relationship with God, and this is not just even me talking to you, this is me talking to myself too, okay? I know that I can go to God like with my problems, because that's still something that I'm working on. It's just like really just like telling God like how I feel, okay? Because it's like I be telling God how I feel, but like really like surface like level, like, because it's like I don't want to like in turn like treat God like my therapist, you know? But then it's like when I think about it, like God is the ultimate therapist. Do I still believe in therapy? Yes, but it's like God is the ultimate therapist, you know? And then it's like because God can handle my stuff. He can handle it. There ain't nothing that this man ain't never seen. There ain't nothing that this man ain't never seen before. And like I literally wrote down that I was like, there's no new problem to God. There's no such thing as a new problem. God has seen everything. He has heard everything. Like if you think your problem is like a lot, it was like God is like, there ain't nothing but a thing. There ain't nothing but a thing with a chicken wing. Like it's nothing to God. And obviously everyone's process will look different when it comes to that. But to know that God cares for you in the midst of that process. And come on, sunlight. Sorry. To know that God will care for you in the midst of that process, because he does care. He cares. And even with the fact that's like in the message how it says that he created the earth, heavens, and the mountains, that there is his care is shown there, because the amount of detail that he like went in to create the heavens and the earth and the mountains. Why would you not think he wouldn't show that same care in covering you, in protecting you, in healing you, and in growing stuff in you? Because like even when it comes to gardening or pruning, like what is it? There's a verse that's like, you are the vine and I am the branches. And because like God is like the gardener and then we're like the plants. There's a lot of times we have to go through a pruning season. And pruning is you cutting things off, cutting things out, and that hurts. But God isn't just gonna go in like willy-nilly like Edward Scissorhands. No, he's going to intentionally and carefully snip away at the areas at us, because he knows if we just rip it off like a band-aid, we're not gonna be well. But God is gonna remove it carefully, because God is a God who cares about every little thing. And that is it for today's devotional. I'll be doing this every single day, and so I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know if you received something else from that verse. We could have like a little Bible study conversation in the comments below. Let me know. Okay? And I will see you tomorrow. I hope you guys have a lovely day. God bless you all. May God be with you in everything you do, and that you may know that you are always protected, you are always cared for, you are always seen, heard, and loved. Okay? Bye.